Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to learn chapter 17, Management of Forts and the Navy. Shivaji Maharaj conquered many enemies to establish his Swaraj. Be it war or governance, his management skill can be seen in all areas. Let us learn about the management skills of Shivaji Maharaj in this lesson. Now, students, we learned in the previous lesson that Shivaji Maharaj he fought with so many enemies to win Swaraj. It was not an easy task for him. He planned it so well to conquer the enemies and to win over Swaraj. So it was only because of his management skill that he succeeded in his plan to achieve his goal. Now, students, what is management skill? Management skill means working in a disciplined manner on a task one has undertaken to achieve a definite goal. Now, management skill in simple terms means to make decisions properly to achieve the desired goal. Okay, so management skill, the person should be an effective leader, a problem solver. Effective leader in the sense he should manage everyone effectively. That if suppose in a group we have people with various talents, so we should use them effectively according to their talents. And also he should be a problem solver. Whenever a problem arises, he should be able to solve that problem. Then only we can achieve the goal. So Shivaji Maharaj, he was an effective leader, he was a problem solver. That's why whatever decisions, whatever plans he made, he was successful in all of that, and that's why he achieved his goal in establishing his Swaraj. Now, the management skills of Shivaji Maharaj are seen at all times in the battles he fought all his life, and also in his overall administration. Let us look at a few examples. Now, Shivaji Maharaj's management skills from the start till the end, we have seen that how much efforts he took to fight the battles. Now we will see few of the examples. Building forts we'll see first. Shivaji Maharaj protected his Swaraj with the help of forts. In the above Ajñapatra or royal edict, the importance of forts has been aptly summed up as follows. The essence of the whole kingdom is forts. Shivaji Maharaj had roamed through the Sahyadri ranges in his youth. On countless occasions, he had gazed at the forts situated in the Sahyadri. He had understood the importance of forts in the protection of Swaraj. Now, Shivaji Maharaj, to protect his Swaraj, he used the help of the forts. With the help of forts, he protected his Swaraj. Now, in the book called Ajñapatra, or it is also called as Royal Edict, it is a book in which the importance of forts has been written. So what they are written? They have written the essence of the whole kingdom is forts. Essence means the real feel. The real feel of the whole kingdom is what? Is forts. So fort is an important thing. Shivaji Maharaj, he roamed all the way through the Sahyadris in his young time. Now he used to keep a check on all the forts, whether the enemies are coming or not, or whether the work in the forts are going properly or not. He used to check each and everything time to time. He appointed certain men to keep on check to all these matters, but he also took initiative himself in checking all these things. Sometimes he used to go without even informing them, and he used to do surprise inspection to to check whether everything, each and everything is going perfectly or not. That is the only reason that he achieved his goal. Shivaji Maharaj built all types of forts: forest forts, hill forts, and sea forts. Now, Shivaji Maharaj he built various types of forts, like forest forts, which is filled with forest around the forts, then hill forts, then sea forts, which is surrounded around the seaside. Now, a sea fort is also known as Janjira. Okay, a sea fort is also known as Janjira. He employed experts like Hiroji Indulkar and Arjoji Yadav to build many new forts like Rajgarh, Pratapgarh, and Sindhudur. Now, Shivaji Maharaj, he appointed certain expert men like Hiroji Indolkar, Arjoji Yadav to build new forts, and the new forts were named to Rajgarh, Pratapgarh, and Sindhudur. He repaired some old forts like Vijayadurg, Torana, and Rangna, and built the new fort of Raigad. He had about 300 forts. Not only Shivaji Maharaj built new forts, but he also repaired the old forts like Vijayadurg, Torana, Rangna, and built new fort of Raigad. So in total there were 300 forts under Shivaji Maharaj. Not one, not two, not 10, or not 20, but 300 forts. It was a big, huge number. Now, it is believed that the book Ajñapatra was written by Ramchandrapat Amtya at the order of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, the younger son of Shivaji Maharaj. Now, the book of Ajñapatra, it was written by Ramchandrapat Amtya, and it was ordered by whom? It was ordered by the younger son of Shivaji Maharaj, named Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. Okay. Now in this image, students, in this image we can see building of fort. So we can see here how the people are building the fort. It takes huge effort to build the fort. Now we'll see management of forts. Shivaji Maharaj had made definite arrangements for the protection of forts. On each fort, the officers Kiledar, Sabnis, and Kharkanis were appointed. The Sabnis and Kharkanis worked under the Kiledar. Their work is shown in the chart below. Now we'll see how they used to manage in the forts. Now Shivaji Maharaj, he made many arrangements. He planned many arrangements that how his fort should be protected from the enemies. So on each fort, he kept some officers, the Kiledar, Sabnis, and Kharkanis. They were appointed to look after the working of the fort, so that each and everything should go on a smooth manner. Now Kiledar, he was the main officer, and the under two officers were Sabnis and the Kharkanis. Now we will see the working of the Kiledar first. Okay, Kiledar. To protect and administer the fort, to issue orders to the Sabnis and Kharkanis, to follow government orders, instructions, and letters. Now the work of Kiledar was to protect and administer, to manage the forts, to manage the workings of the fort. Then to issue orders to Sabnis and the Karkhanis. So Kiledar was the one who is to order Sabnis and Karkhanis. So order means what they should do. What all work Sabnis and the Karkhanis used to do was ordered by the Kiledar. Then to follow government orders, instructions and letters. So Kiledar used to follow the instructions, whatever instructions was given by the government, and whatever letters, orders were given by the government was followed by the Kiledar. Now we will see the working of the Sabnis. Now we'll see the working of the Sabnis. So they used to keep accounts, record income and expenses on the fort, to collect revenue tax from the subjects on the fort and around it, to handle the correspondence. Now the Sabnis, they used to keep the book of accounts, what all income or what all expenses were there on the fort were recorded by the Sabnis. Then they used to see how much tax is coming, how much revenue is to be paid, whatever it is there in the fort and also around the fort, and to also handle the correspondence. Correspondence means communicating by exchanging letters. So they used to handle all of these things. Now we will see the Karkhanis, the working of the Karkhanis. They used to supply grains and goods to the people living on the fort. Then to arrange for the ammunition for the guns and firearms at the time of war. Firearms means pistol or gun, like that, okay. To look after and maintain the fort and the buildings on it. To maintain the fort and also to look after the buildings. This was the working of the Sabnis and Karkhanis. Now we'll see the guns and ammunition. Now at the time of Shivaji Maharaj, guns of various sizes were used to protect the forts from the enemy. Now we know that during the wars, while attacking, they need various size and kinds of guns and weapons to fight with the enemies. To win the battle, they need huge weapons, guns and everything. So the guns were placed on the bastions and fortifications of the fort. Some forts like Purandar and Bhimgad had provisions for making guns. So some forts, they used to make the guns inside the fort only, and guns were made from metal like iron, brass, copper, etc. In the rainy season, the guns were given a wax coating to prevent rusting. Now the guns, they were made out of metals like iron, brass, copper, etc. And during the rainy season, they used to put a wax coating so that it does not rust. In Hindi we say jung lag jata hai, right? So to avoid that, they used to put a wax coating during the rainy season. Iron and stone cannonballs and canister shots were fired at the enemy from the guns. To fire the shots, an explosive mixture was used. So now when these soldiers are protecting in the fort, when they see an enemy from far away, what they used to do at that time only, they used to shot huge explosions. So they used to keep an eye on each and every enemy who is coming around the fort to fire them. Now next point is the navy. Now navy means military operations conducted on or under or over the sea. Now, a navy consists of warships. The English, the Portuguese, the Siddhis, and the Dutch had a strong naval force. Now, the English, the Portuguese, the Siddhis, the Dutch, all these people had a strong naval force than ours. Some of these people used to plunder the villages. Now, plunder the villages means they used to destroy these villages on the sea coast and torture the villagers. Shivaji Maharaj created an independent navy to permanently subdue these enemies on the sea. Now, these people used to come and trouble the people who used to stay near the seaside. So, Shivaji Maharaj, what he did, he created his own navy to protect these people from the enemies. Shivaji Maharaj raised several dockyards to build ships of various sizes. He gained control over old sea forts by winning them in battles. He repaired sea forts like Suvarnadurg and Vijayadurg. He built a new sea fort called Sindhudurg on the Kurtia island near Malwan. He also built the fort of Kanderi near Mumbai. Now Shivaji Maharaj, he thought of building ships. So now the word dockyard means a place where ships are built and repaired. So near the dockyard he built various ships of various sizes, and he gained control over the old sea fort, the forts which was near to the sea. He fought the battle and he went the sea forts, and he also repaired forts like Suvarnadurg and Vijayadurg, and he made a new fort, that is Sindhudurg. The Swaraj Navy included people belonging to various seafaring communities like Koli, Bhandari and Agari, Daulat Khan, Mainak, Bhandari, Lai Patil, Dariya Sarang, Tukoji Angre were some of the great men of his period skilled in naval warfare. So these are the men who were with Shivaji Maharaj's time to battle the enemies from the sea side. Okay. Because of the Maratha navy, the English, the Portuguese, the Siddhis and the Dutch, who were the enemies of the Marathas, began to fear and respect them. Now the Marathas, they were so good in handling all these enemies through the sea fort that the English, the Portuguese, the Siddhis, the Dutch, they started fearing from the Maratha soldiers, from the Maratha navy. So they started respecting them also. Now their nuisance to Swaraj was reduced. So what they did, they started to reduce whatever harm they were doing, they were stopping to do that. So by raising an independent and strong navy, Shivaji Maharaj defined his territorial waters and established domination over the coastal area. He safeguarded his sea coast. This navy was the first of its kind in medieval India. That is why he is rightly regarded as the father of the Indian Navy. Now, in the seaside also, Shivaji Maharaj, he planned it so well that even over the coastal area, he won. And that's why he had a control over the seaside also. That's why he is also called as the father of the Indian Navy, because he was the one who took the charge of the coastal area to fight the enemies. Now we will see the intelligence department. There was a well organized and very efficient system of army intelligence and espionage. Espionage means obtaining secret information by means of spies. Now, now you have seen in various movies that the police officers, they go like a normal man. They don't wear the uniforms or anything. Or the detective people, they just go as a normal people, and whatever information they want to collect, they collect by spying. So in this way, an army, intelligence and espionage was well organized, so to see whether from where the enemies are coming from, how many enemies are coming or what their plans are. So to know all these things, they kept a spy who can obtain all the secret information, so that they could be ready enough from the start to fight the enemies. Now, the accurate information that he obtained helped greatly in making the campaigns like the Surat campaign successful. Shivaji's spies found out detailed information about the enemy camp. Shivaji Maharaj started no offensive unless he had gathered information from his spies. That is how he planned his campaigns. Now, Shivaji Maharaj, he appointed spies to obtain secret informations, so that he could plan it before. And what happened? Shivaji Maharaj, he did not hurt the enemies, or he did not attack the enemies before unless he got the full information. So in this way he planned all of his campaigns. Now next point is guerrilla tactics. In the defense strategy of Shivaji Maharaj, guerrilla tactics were especially important. Guerrilla tactics include sudden and unexpected attacks on the enemy at a strategic place and time. The guerrilla army attacks the enemy and without giving them time to recover reaches a safe destination. Shivaji Maharaj was helped by the dense forest and hill forts in the Sahyadris and the support of his subjects in this guerrilla warfare. Now, what is guerrilla warfare or guerrilla tactics? That means Shivaji Maharaj, he also always, most of the time, he used to use this kind of strategy where they attack the people suddenly. They don't inform and go. Whenever a need arises, they go without even informing the opposite enemy. They maybe they will hide behind the forest or trees to attack, and even before the enemies could attack back, they would safely reach their destination. So this was the tactic of the guerrilla warfare. So Shivaji Maharaj, he was held by the dense forest he had in the Sahyadris. Because of the dense forest, wild forest and the hill forts, he was able to do this guerrilla warfare. Shivaji Maharaj had a disciplined army. His soldiers treated women with respect. Shivaji Maharaj therefore came to be known as the protector of women. He had strictly warned his soldiers not to drink alcohol, nor to trouble his subjects, and not to extort money from them. So Shivaji Maharaj, he used to treat the women very properly, and he also told his soldiers also treat the women with respect and with care. So Shivaji Maharaj, therefore he was named to be called as the protector of the women, and he also strictly avoided the soldiers not to have any alcohol, or not to trouble his people, not to take money from them. So in this way Shivaji Maharaj, he planned each and everything, he managed each and everything very properly. I hope students you have understood this chapter.